Hello and welcome to my channel, guys. Today I'm going to show you how you can use Syntheyes to track your footages so you can bring your 3D assets into your video files. So Syntheyes is a very niche software used for tracking. You cannot edit anything, you cannot create anything. You can create some basic shapes. I will be showing you how. But this software is used mainly for the tracking. Just like any other 3D software, we have a big viewport in the center. We have the timeline here, the play bar options, then we have the properties on the left side, and trust me, in this place can have all the features that you ever need. Then we have some different tabs on the top like roto masking, feature, tracker, planar, graph, lens, solver, phrase, coordinates, 3D, lights. These all tabs have different functionality based on what step are you on. Like tracking involves a number of steps. For the most of the time, you will be using summary, roto masking, solver, coordinates, and 3D. I will be talking about everything in detail in upcoming videos. Then we have the camera. This is the shot actually. It says camera, but it's the shot that we are working on. And then we have different layouts. So let's load in the footage first. So to load in the footage, we go to file and we go to new. You have to select the first frame of your sequence. So I always recommend using the image sequence instead of the video file, because video files are always compressed, so they can be very choppy with the tracking. So I always suggest that you use the image sequence, and to bring in the sequence you just have to click the first image. Syntheyes will load it up and you will get this window right in the center. So in this window, the only thing that you need to worry about is the playback speed. It should be on 24 frame per second, because if you're tracking the footage, it means you are going to work with 3D, and all 3Ds have a standardized frame rate, which is 24 frame per second. Let's play this video. You might notice that the video is playing very fast. It's because the Syntheyes open the video with the frame by frame playback speed selected. You just have to click the normal speed and the video should be playing fine. So let's talk about what's tracking and why do we need it. So let's say you shot this video and you want to place a spaceship in hill, or you want to place a meteor coming from the sky and hitting this tomb, or you want to place some fire, or you want to place something else in 3D. Then you need to have a coordinates of every pixel, right? You cannot just bring a 3D assets and put it here. You need a tracking data. So for tracking, we have three major steps. The first one is that obviously the tracking. I will tell you what it means. The next step is solving it. And the third and the most important step is orienting your scene. Let's talk about tracking first. So what is tracking and how does Synthesize does it? For example, let's see we zoom in and we find this box here, this dark box. What if we have a way that we can tell Synthesize, hey Synthesize, you must track this box on every frame, and it has these boxes around it. So this is a pattern that you can track. It will track it on every frame. See this box, it's here, right? So if I move forward, so this box goes here. There should be an automatic way where I can tell Synthesize to track all these kind of points. It will be helpful, right? So yes, we have exactly that. We have the auto tracker. So this auto button is for automatically doing everything, like including the solving. But I never suggest to do it this way because you never know what's going wrong. It's better to do it manually, like semi-manually. There is another manual mode that I will show you later on. But yes, so if we run the auto tracker, you see we have all these diamonds in our scene. Let's see what's going on. So Synthesize is doing exactly what I just explained. It's picking up some pixels and it's tracking them throughout entire footage. But the problem here now is these all points are at the same plane. And this diamond is in the same z position as this diamond. It has a different y value, but not different z value. It might have a different x value as well. This has a different like x value and differently y value. But all of these diamonds, they are all at a 2D plane. They're not in the 3D space. So for tracking, we need 3D data. So we need to know how far this point is from this point. So for that, we need the depth. This brings us to the next step, which is solving. So if I hit the solve button now, So when I click solve, Syntheyes does a lot of calculations with trigonometry and it creates these points. They are not at the same plane anymore. And now we have the 3D view. See, we have the top view, we have the front view, we have the left view. If I zoom out, we have all these points here. Right now we can see that our camera is focusing on these bunch of points, these cluster of points. It's right here. If I select these points, you see they are getting selected right here. We have a different depth now. We have some points that are really far away and some that are close to the camera, and we know that our camera is moving in an arc, right? So that's what we are getting here. So our second step is halfway done. What I mean by halfway is there is something called error. If you see right here under the book, we have an error of 2.3456 pixel, which is not acceptable. For an HD footage, a maximum of 1 pixel of error is acceptable, but we have 2.356. You can have this like a different number here. It can be 5, 6, 10, 12, anything. Let's see what error means. You see these small crosses. We got these crosses after we solved the camera, but theoretically these crosses should be in the dead center of the diamond. If they are not in the center, it means we have the error. For this particular tracker, we have the error of 2.04, and for this one we have error of 3.69. It means this cross is 3.69 pixel away from the center. But for our footage to track properly, we only need 8 trackers. We don't need these many. Right now we have 120 trackers. See, but we only need 8 trackers. So we have high error rate and we have high number of trackers. So how do we bring both of them down? There is a way. If we go to track, clean up trackers, we can clear bad frames. So what are the bad frames? So if you see in the viewport, we have these circles around the trackers. These circles are the error. The bigger the circle, the more error it has. If we play the timeline, you will see those errors are getting bigger and smaller, right? It means those trackers are contributing to the average error, but they're not consistently bad, right? So these are the bad tracks that we have right here, bad frames. If we set it to clear and we fix it, now we lost a lot of trackers and we just need to hit the go button and our error is below 1 now. So we are good to go with this number. Let's play the footage one more time. You see we lost some trackers in the background, but that's okay for this shot. So the next step, the most important step that I talked about is the orienting. What does I mean by that? So right now, Syntheyes doesn't know what's up, what's back, what's left, what's right. If I turn off the image, so this is what Syntheyes is seeing right now. It doesn't know this is y-axis or this is x-axis or this is z-axis, you know. So we need to tell Syntheyes, hey, consider this axis as y, this as x, and this as z. But how do we do it? We just need to go to the coordinates tab. I must turn the image back on. And you will see this small button with asterisk 3 written on it. And after that, you will see it's turned to OR, which means origin. So if I will select any point, it will become the origin of my 3D world. And then this button will turn to LR, which means left right. I will have to select one more point which is to the left or to the right of this point at the same plane. Then it will ask for a plane point PL, and we can select any point which is roughly at the same plane. We can select this or this, like whichever is on the same plane with the first point. So let's do it. Let's select this point as origin because it's close to this building. So if we select this point, so you can see it's LR now. So I will choose this point as my LR point and this point as my plane point. Syntheyes will ask if we want to confirm this coordinate. So yes, we want it. Now 80% of the task is done. We are done with setting the orientation as well. It's the perfect moment to test our 3D objects. Let's try putting some 3D object in our scene now. So Syntheyes have this 3D tab, which is very efficient to test your tracking data. And if I select this magic wand tool right now, if I just click and drag, I have the box in my scene. Let's draw some more shapes. We can also draw a pyramid. Let's try a matrix. You can select these toolbars to move your shapes or the camera. Actually, the camera moves the entire world. Let me show you what I mean by that. If I select this hole and I select this transform tool, I can move my entire scene. Let's uncheck this hole and let's place our objects at a different Z position. So let's see if our tracking is working or not. If I hit the play button, you will see our objects are properly placed and they are tracking with the footage. Although this is the fastest way of tracking the camera in a footage, it is not the most accurate one. There are some other techniques that we can use to have 100% accurate results. So stay tuned and I will be showing the manual tracking workflow in depth in my next video, along with some cool tips and tricks that you will find exclusively on this channel. Feel free to comment your questions, doubts, and views about this, and please subscribe to my channel and hit the bell icon. It will be a huge support to my channel. That's it for now. I'll see you in the next report.